Psychoneuroimmunology is the study of the relationship between stress and illness, or how psychological, neurological, and endocrine processes interact to affect our health. And we no longer assume that a disease would be psychosomatic. We don't use that term anymore because that's come to mean something that's imagined. What we have with a psychophysiological illness is a real physiological illness that's caused, at least in part, by psychological symptoms such as stress. And we know the overall functioning of the immune system is compromised by stress. So neurological factors like brain signals that tell the fight or flight system, the stress response system, to continue to pour out hormones and keep us in a state of fight or flight affect our health. So that our stressors are related to the appraisal we have of them. We can appraise them as challenging or threatening, and that determines the thoughts and feelings that we have, which then determines how our brain is signaling the rest of the body, the physiological body, to function. The brain says, oh, I'm worried about something, and then the body says, okay, I'll help you to fight or flee, because remember, we just have one system of dealing with a potential stressor, whether it's an angry bear or an upcoming psychology test or money or relationships. Our one system for dealing with our worries is our fight or flight nervous system. So the brain tells the body to kick up the fight or flight nervous system, and this can actually suppress the immune function because, again, the body eventually runs out of energy, and it will just choose to sacrifice the immune system. And remember, the perfect example of a stressor that you would fight or flee from is an angry bear. You don't need to worry about fighting off that cold when you got to fight the angry bear. So the body sacrifices that immune system so that you can continue to mobilize your energy for dealing with the things that you're worried about. Your body doesn't know that it's not an angry bear. Your body just gets the message, we're worried, okay, fight or flee. So if we looked at this in the example of catching a cold, there seems to be a trade-off between stress response and the immune system. So in the Cohen cold study conducted in 1992, this was a study of 43 monkeys over 6 months, and 21 of them were stressed by being housed with new roommates, 3 or 4 new monkeys each month. By the end of the experiment, the monkeys who were stressed were weaker than those monkeys who were not stressed with new roommates. And in humans, we also see that stress exposure has been found to delay the healing of wounds. In this cold study that's in your book, they had students who were isolated from their friends, maybe students like yourselves, and they would put them in a hotel and offer them some money to stay there for a few days. And on the first day, they would expose everyone to the cold to the cold virus, and then they'd wait to see who catches a cold. And they would interview the students about their stressors going on in their lives. And of course, the more stress students experienced, the more likely they were to catch a cold, especially if the stressor lasted a month or more, and especially if the students rated their level of social support as low. So it's a very real example of how stress can affect our health.